Hey everyone, hope everyone's having a good week. It's finally feeling like summer. We're getting some heat for once, which is fantastic. A few things I wanted to share this week. First, on a personal note, I was very honored to receive a nomination for the Kelowna Chamber of Commerce's Top 40 Under 40, which is fantastic. And funnily enough, included with that nomination was a radio interview on AM 1150. I'm actually going to include that radio interview with the email that I send out this video with. Just because it was interesting. It was a unanticipated topic of conversation that came up was Freemasonry, because for those who don't know, I actually did a history undergrad up at UBCO here, and I did a paper on Freemasons and the impact that they had on the early development of Kelowna and BC communities. And it was a bit of a shot out of left field as far as I was concerned, but the radio host, Phil Johnson, started asking me about Freemasons and why I wasn't interested in them and how this all happened. And it was very interesting to see him segue from my role with the Downtown Kelowna Association as the vice president and the closing down of Bernard and different stuff like that to suddenly over to talking about Freemasonry. So that was interesting. Another thing that I wanted to discuss today was a legal topic when it comes to holdbacks and repairs. So when you're working with clients who are looking at purchasing a property and there may be some repairs that need to be done, and maybe there's a large amount of repairs, maybe it's just a small few things that want to get cleaned up before the completion date. Something to consider is you need to be conscious of negotiating sticks into your contract. And what I mean by that is it's one thing for the parties to agree, yep, that's going to happen before the completion date, and okay, great. And then your clients get into the property and find out, okay, it hasn't actually been fixed. And now what? Now what's our next step? And unfortunately, oftentimes realtors in their generosity will just say, oh, well, I'll pay for that and I'll take care of that for you. And at the end of the day, we don't want to have that situation where you're having to sacrifice economic gain and the hard work that you put into getting the transaction to complete and paying out of your commission because some other parties decided not to follow through with their obligations. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the legal side of things, there is a difference between what your rights and obligations are and the actual enforcement of those rights. So the reason I bring this up is because if you're going to do a contractual negotiation for the repairs, rather than the sellers just giving a representation warranty that they are going to complete it, you should and could consider having some language in there that if it's not completed by X date, there's going to be a certain amount that's going to be held back until there is confirmation that the repairs have been done, or the buyers will receive those funds to be able to do the repairs themselves. Even if you're not anticipating there being any delay in those repairs being done, or it seems like the parties are operating in good faith, having that stick is nice just because it's very clear as to what the stick is. And I'm referring it to as a stick just because it's one of those things that can be a motivating factor when it comes to parties actually following through with their obligations. And if we get to some higher levels of repairs needing to be done, and we're doing deficiency lists and that kind of stuff, if there needed to be any sort of kind of more waving of that stick as to, oh, we're going to have to enforce our legal rights and go down that path, it's very clear what the outcome would be, and people are more likely to actually follow through with those obligations. So sorry that was a bit long-winded, but if anyone has any questions on that, please let me know. I think it is worthwhile in trying to protect your client. Doing holdbacks on the legal side is not the best. So we like being able to send out all the money and not have to track things and keep things in our trust account. But at the same time, it's in the client's best interest, so it's worth considering. Last thing I'll share, just to make sure this video doesn't go too long, but I did find it kind of funny. Accelerate Okanagan there was a tech event actually a while ago that I attended, and they had this photographer there who was doing headshots for people in attendance, and it was all stylized and that kind of thing. And very well-known guy, I guess, and does a great job. And they just sent the headshot to my office the other day in physical format, and it's at home right now. Otherwise, I'd show it. But I brought it home to my wife last night, and she was looking at it, and she said, "Wow, this is amazing. You look so good. This looks nothing like you." And it was one of the best backhanded compliments I guess I received, in that apparently I looked great, but apparently it also didn't look anything like me. So there was that. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great week. Talk to you guys soon. Please keep in touch with me if you want to chat about anything when it comes to real estate, business development stuff. I haven't touched on the business development and marketing stuff recently, but that is something that I'm always cognizant of. So if anyone wants to chat about that, I'm always welcome or open to it. Have a good day, guys.